I wanted to talk today about hunting knives that I've carried in the past and why I think that Havalon knives are actually a really good choice for sticking in your pack when you're going hunting, fishing, or camping. Um, in the past, I've carried fixed blades like uh, this Bradford Guardian 3. This is an M390 with the micarta handles. I think the blade finish is called Nimbus or something like that. It's kind of like a black stonewash blade finish. It's got really good jimping, really good finger choil. This is actually a good knife for caping and skinning, but it's sort of expensive. It's a few $100s, I think, if I remember what I paid for it. I really like the sheath on this knife as well, too. It's a scout carry sheath. So overall, this is a really good knife, but it wouldn't be good for fishing, and I'm not sure for filleting fish. I wouldn't beat on this in a camp setting. The blade's not long enough for doing a lot of larger knife chores around the campsite. So it's good for one thing, basically. And like I said, it's kind of expensive, so it's not cost effective either. And then I've also carried this knife. This is the Benchmade Pardue Hunter. This is actually one of the first production runs. I don't know if the camera will focus, but it's I think 500 or 600. It's something out of 700. It's a first production run. I really like the handles. This is an S30V blade steel, so it's pretty good steel. Jimping's not so good on this knife, but this again is a larger camp knife. This is actually good for skinning and caping, but also this knife I've used to do kitchen chores to prep around the campsite. I think I've even used this in my house as a kitchen knife. But again, it's kind of expensive, not good for fishing. I wouldn't beat on this at the camp site, and if I lost this, I'd probably be upset, right? And then I'll show you what my EDC is for today. Then my EDC today is this is a Microtech Scarab, and of course this is not a good knife for pretty much anything, except for carrying in my pocket, cutting boxes open, etc. And this isn't a hard use knife. This is kind of a joke. So okay. So Havalon knives. I have a few different Havalon knives. I have the Piranta, the Baracuta, and I have this Talon set of knives. And we'll go through these and see how these kind of fit absolutely everything, every need. They're not super expensive, so if you break one or lose one, it's not the end of the world. And because you can replace the blades, you're not carrying around a sharpener. You're also not worried about if you damage a blade, right? Like if you chip out a blade or something, it doesn't matter. Just pull it off, throw it away, and get another blade. So we'll start with the knife that I carry in my pocket. I have it in the sheath here, but I don't really carry this sheath for anything. I normally carry this in my pocket as like a fixed blade. So this is the Havalon Piranta, and this takes the small surgical stainless steel blades. I think they're 60A type blades, right, is the ones that I have on here. This knife is really good for kind of fine detailed work, skinning, caping. Not real good if you hit a bone with it. It kind of bends a bit. Really easy to change the blades out. You just simply push. It comes with a tool, but you can just simply push up on the blade and pull it off, right? I don't carry the plastic tool. If it gets stuck, I have a Leatherman in my bag somewhere that I normally use to take it off with, but it can easily be taken off and put back on with your fingers. See? It's back on. There you go. It cleans out real easy, so if stuff gets in it, it's open backed, pass through, so it's real easy to clean out and change the blades. You always have a sharp blade, and I have you know, a ton of these blades around, right, in a pack. So there's the Havalon Piranta, and I think give or take $50 for this, right? Along with 10 or 12 blades, I think is what I paid for it, and the sheath that I don't use. So that I carry in my pocket. And then here is another knife, and I do keep this in the sheath. I keep this in my backpack, and I don't really carry this around, but it's a larger Piranta. Basically, it's called the Baracuta, and it's the same. You know, they almost look the same. They're set up the same way, except this one has a 2 and something inch blade, and this one has 4+ inch blade. Comes off and on the same way. Open flow through construction. Handle's really grippy. It doesn't have any jimping, but and neither does the Piranta, but it's got a pretty decent handle on it, so I can get a pretty good grip. This knife is interesting because for this knife I not only have this regular blade, which is good for larger work, but also I actually have some extra blades here that I can show you. I have a bone saw, actually a couple bone saws, bone saw blades, another regular skinning caving blade, which this can be used in the kitchen. I've used this to cut food up as well because this blade is plenty long enough. And then I have a 5-inch filet blade as well. This blade is not super sturdy, so this is the second one I've had. Actually, the other one broke, which was my fault, but it broke. So, there is the capability of putting a fillet blade on this knife. So this knife covers multiple things from skinning, caping animals of all different sizes, fishing as well, and some kitchen chores around the camp. I wouldn't pound on this knife. It's not, you can see it's not really super sturdy to be beat on, so I wouldn't go out and try and pound through a log with it or something at camp, but that's not what this knife is for. So there's this knife, and I want to say this knife was $60 or something like that. I mean, it wasn't that expensive, right? And it came with all these different blades. I might have bought the bone saw blades, but it came with a couple of different blades as well. I don't really remember what it came with, but so there's that. And then my favorite set, and I'll show you why. This is the Talon Hunt set. They also have a Talon Fish set, and the only difference is the color, really, and the blades that it comes with, not the blades that you can attach to it, because you can still attach the hunt blades to the fishing handle and the fishing blades to the hunting handle. So this is the hunt set, and what it comes with is it comes with this sheath or roll carrying case, which I've cut through this one right here, so it's not, I mean, it's sturdy, but knife blades are really sharp. But I actually have another one of these as well. I like this one so much. So this set serves as your camp knife, your skinning and caping blade, your fishing and fillet blade, some work, I won't say bushcrafting, but some additional other chores around the camp. And then, like I said, the kitchen. And I've actually used this, if you watch one of my other videos, I actually used this knife with a fillet blade on it to carve up a turkey breast. So I use this knife in the kitchen too, which saves money because, you know, you buy a kitchen knife. Kitchen knives can be easily, you know, a nice kitchen knife, in my opinion, is $300 or $400 for one knife. And we have those knives around the house, but I don't want to use those or stick those in the dishwasher, even, for that matter, right? But this, I'll use this and mess the blade up and throw the blade away and get another one. The other cool thing about this is, let's say you get stuff in the handle, you can unlock this handle. So you flip that switch down and you pull on it, and then the knife handle comes apart. So you can wash it out real good. So if you get blood or the sinew or whatever they call it, you know, the filmy stuff in there, or fat, you can easily rinse this out so that, and then it dries pretty easy. And then you just push it back down, push it back in place, right? So let me do that one more time. See how it fits right there? You just push it in. And flip this to locked. And now it won't come undone. So let's go over some of the blades and why this is actually my favorite Talon knife. And so I carry this one in my pocket, you know, for field dressing or something if I needed to. But I carry this one in this roll pack, either in my backpack or I take it out at camp and leave it because I don't need to necessarily carry this around while I'm hunting. But I have multiple blades. So I have this, I think this is a 3.5 inch gut hook blade. I have a few of these, right? And this knife can actually be resharpened. These blades can be. I wouldn't resharpen any of the blades off of the Baracuta or the Piranta, but these knife blades can be resharpened. In fact, they're made to where you can do that. I might touch them up with a strop or a steel rod or something, a ceramic rod. But if they get really dull, these go back in the pack and back in the trash when I get home, and I get another blade. But because I have a bunch of these, so and then it also comes with the hunt pack also comes with a half serrated blade. You know, this is good for around the camp. And then I think, yeah, those are the same type of. This is another serrated blade, and I have some more gut hook blades in. Oh, I might as well show how to hook this up. Let me show you how to hook this up. Let's see, which one is this one? It was stuck on the hook. This is the gut hook blade. So how this goes in is really simple. You just slide this on, you press this button, and it locks. And basically you have a fixed blade. Now I haven't batoned with this or whatever. They do make bushcraft blades for this. I don't have any of the bushcraft blades. I don't do any of that kind of stuff. But this is really fairly sturdy unless you try to pry a nail out with it or something. This is actually a pretty sturdy knife. So here's your fixed blade, right? And to take it out, you just hold it like this, push the button, slide it back, comes right out. So I have, like I said, I have a couple of packs of these blades too, and so it's not just the ones that I carry. I have a bunch of spare ones. Then these are actually the blades for these are actually the blades right here, the 60A or whatever. Yeah, 60A blades for the Piranta. I keep them in here. Other blades that this knife has that I use are, this is a 5-inch filet blade that I've used, or maybe this is 7-inch. This might be 7-inch filet blade, but I actually use this to cut the turkey up on the other video. I've used this for some other things as well, but this is really good if you're cutting meat at camp, right? So this is a good cooking kind of a knife. Then what else do I carry in here? I don't. Oh, that's another fillet blade. Then over here I have, and this is a much better bone saw than comes on than you can get with the Baracuta that I showed. But here's a bone saw. I have a couple of these bone saws here, right? And none of these blades are expensive. That's the good thing about them. So if you break one or if you wear it out, you throw it away and get another blade. And then this is the 9-inch fillet blade right here. So that's why I think that this Talon knife set is actually really cost effective as well, because it comes with most of these blades for about $70, and then, you know, bone saw blade pack of 2 was maybe $10 or something like that. Some additional, additional $10, $20 here and there for some extra blades. But at this point, I've got enough blades, I'll probably never run out of them. And all of that, I don't think I have $200 in the set, right? So, and it's multi-purpose, from fishing, camping, the kitchen, hunting knife, right? This is actually a really good bang for your buck, I would say. So anyway, that's why I like the Havalon knives. I'm not sponsored by Havalon. Of course, I paid for all this stuff out of my own pocket, but I actually use this. So I have a safe full of very nice knives, and I actually carry these. These are the ones that I use. So if you have any questions about Havalon knives or replaceable knives in general, replaceable blade knives in general, or if you have any replaceable blade knives that you like to use, and maybe more than the Havalon, maybe you've tried the Havalon knives and you don't like them, please leave a comment and let everybody know in the comments what you're using and why. And if you like information like this or overviews, reviews like this, please like and subscribe to my channel. All right. Thanks, everybody. Good night.